Ever wondered why the country closest to the moon isn't the coldest, but rather one of the hottest? Welcome to the enigmatic world of the equator, a fascinating line that wraps around our Earth. Despite the equator's proximity to the sun, it's not a blistering desert, but a tropical paradise. It's a place where the sun is always overhead, and the days and nights are equally long. Yet, it cradles some of the world's hottest countries. So buckle up as we embark on a journey along this fascinating line, the equator. Contrary to what one might think, countries along the equator are not just scorching deserts. In fact, the equator is home to a stunning array of climates, from the stifling heat of the rainforests to the chilly winds of the Andean peaks. Now, you might be wondering, how can this be? Isn't the equator the hottest part of the planet? Well, let's delve into that. The Earth's axis is tilted at an angle of about 23.5 degrees. This tilt, coupled with the planet's rotation, creates a variety of climates and weather patterns. In equatorial regions, the sun is almost directly overhead all year round, leading to high temperatures and abundant rainfall. This is why you'll find the Amazon rainforest along the equator teeming with life in its hot and humid environment. But it's not just about the heat. Move a little to the west, and you'll encounter the Andes Mountains. Here, the altitude takes precedence over latitude. The thin air at high elevations can't hold much heat, resulting in cooler temperatures. That's why you'll see snow-capped peaks, despite these mountains being on the equator. So you see, the equator isn't just a belt of constant heat. It's a dynamic region where climate is shaped by more than just the sun's rays. From the Amazon rainforest to the snow-capped Andes, the equator is a hotbed of climatic extremes. But that's not all it has to offer. Did you know that you weigh less on the equator than you would at the poles? Quite an intriguing fact, isn't it? This is due to a fascinating gravitational phenomenon that occurs at the equator. Here's the science behind it. Earth isn't a perfect sphere. It's an oblate spheroid, meaning it's slightly flattened at the poles and bulging at the equator. This bulge causes the planet's gravitational force to be weaker at the equator. And since gravity is what gives us weight, a weaker gravitational pull means you'd weigh slightly less. But wait, there's more to it. The Earth is also rotating, and this rotation creates a centrifugal force, which pushes objects away from the center. This force is strongest at the equator, and it works against gravity, further reducing your weight. These differences are minuscule, of course, and you're not going to suddenly float off into space. But it's enough to make a noticeable difference on a precise scale. For years, this phenomenon has attracted both tourists and scientists. Tourists love the novelty of weighing less, even if it's just by a tiny bit. And for scientists, it's a fantastic natural laboratory to study the effects of gravity and centrifugal force. So if you're looking for a natural weight loss solution, a trip to the equator might be just the ticket. Ever seen water swirling in opposite directions in the northern and southern hemispheres? This is due to a fascinating phenomenon known as the Coriolis Effect. Picture this. In the northern hemisphere, moving air and water veer to the right. Conversely, in the southern hemisphere, they tend to turn left. Interestingly enough, this effect is completely absent at the equator. So, next time you're near the equator, don't forget to check which way your bathwater